Man, on my phone, when I put it on picture, it starts out as picture. I look good, but the second I put that on video, sometimes I'm like, man, what happened to my, smooth look? But whatever. But man, I really don't know what to say. I just like predicting this because I'm like, who in their right mind actually thinks this movie looks good? I met like, some really fat, I'm just saying it's usually that kind of weird kind of guy, out of shape guy that will be like thinking Ratatouille is like amazing. I never really finished Ratatouille. It's like one of those things that it was because it was boring. I think it's supposed to me. I had a burp. I think it's social media is supposed to be praised, but I asked my girl about it because when he was told me it was good, I was like, really? I just can't remember. I remember trying it, and no, my girl said no, it was boring. So yeah, and that's usually what happens. I'm just like, why did I not finish it? And there's always the outcome. It was boring, but so I'm saying is it's just like again, I met someone that was looking forward to the movie, but the person is like not all there. And I told him it's gonna make less than Batman v Superman. But the thing is, and he actually thought the trailer was good. And the thing is, people, I just want to explain. Like I like to explain things about myself. Like I like to explain. Again, I am a fan of, not a big fan of Man of Steel, but am a Batman v Superman and Justice League Zack Snyder cut. But just like like what movies I like, and but it has nothing to do with social media tries to turn into. Those people will get blocked on my review if I get any that nonsense about dividing. You talking about some Marvel fan, this fan, Xbox fan, whatever block. I don't have time for that. But you know, but I just really want to be honest with you. This Superman's a very bad trailer. And I do think about this, and I explained this before. Batman v Superman, I was attacking the hell out of it, and I think like I said, I explained the story so many times that I was like saying we need to boycott this, and I think it's the first time I said that. But and I was actually getting into those videos, people were liking them, and I was actually just going by, Watchmen sucks. What else? Sucker Punch sucked, and then I was like also making jokes that Zack Snyder's a racist, but I was kind of like wondering that too sometimes. But when I was saying that, I was saying something like, you realize on like Sucker Punch, the Asian girl actually does nothing. Anytime they have that dream world, you pay attention, she leaves. And then I think she's the first one that dies. I can't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, she absolutely does literally nothing to Sucker Punch. And I said in the movie 300, you pay attention to the only people that are villains are the people of color. And what was the next one? Oh yeah, Watchmen. The only black guy in the movie died. So I was just sitting there thinking, I think there's something up with that, and Watchmen and all these movies that he thinks are good, like the director, Zack Snyder is like, yeah, this guy, blah blah blah. But that's what I was saying back then. But people were praising me for that, and I didn't know that there was this whole Marvel and DC kind of crap. And I really was making myself not like the trailer to Batman v Superman. It's weird how I was able to do that, and I never made that mistake again. I maybe got into that, base, and and it's the only time I've ever done that. I was thinking, and I came out of the movie, and, did my review, says you guys are gonna be shocked, but boy, did I enjoy myself. And people, and it's the thing is, I'm not someone that can hate something without making any sense, but I was not liking the trailer because it's just for dumb reasons. But the movie, I was still like I said, I'm not like too weak minded where I'm coming out movies like this movie sucked because of this and that. No, I came out Batman v Superman says, boy, did I enjoy myself. It was so weird. I snapped out of that, but I was looking at other people's review and they're like, this movie sucked because he said Martha. And I'm like, the CGI, what they say, the CGI is awful, the acting's awful, and all that. And I forgot what it said, it's a mess. And they don't explain literally anything. And the ones that try, they'll say something dumb like Jeremy did, says, I wish that Batman made Doomsday. and he felt sorry for what he did, and that's why, I was like, what the F? And then you heard about that Chris Hendrick trying to do his own version, and people laughed at that because it was making literally no sense. And it was like, this is some weirdo shit. But but I'm just saying that I'm just trying to say I'm not trying to like I don't think it's not one of those things. I'm like this trailer for Superman really sucks, and I just knew, my whole thing is feeling like it sucks, and it's actually coming out that it is a comedy. It's just going to be try to be funny. And I said the dog, something about it. I said when I first saw that dog, I remember how I wanted to start out. I wanted to start that and go pattern, and how my mind started to think about it. And I actually had no thoughts about it, until I saw the trailer. And I don't know when the part got to the dog, and I was thinking, oh yeah, this is definitely a comedy. Uh, but I remember on the first trailer, whatever I saw, I don't know if they showed the dog or not, but I remember the first trailer, I felt nothing. And then later you meet the dog, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're supposed to laugh at the dog because he does that for all his movies. He has like some animal that's supposed to be cute, like a Disney Marvel movie, so they can sell the toy, and the dog's gonna be pissing everywhere. You're supposed to clap for the dog or something, and then it's just like, oh my gosh. And the word out is a comedy, but the point is I'm trying to make is the trailer sucks. So there should be no shocking that this movie is going to be bad. I really believe that the movie is going to be like forgettable, but I don't think it's going to be viable. Well, I remember, oh man, I'm really screwing up. I wanted to talk about even with I forgot, because I had this plan over 5 hours ago to talk about this, of my order stuff. And I wanted to say for Man of Steel, I think the movie's okay. And I said, honestly, because I wanted to go over the biggest problem that this movie's going to have. And I said, let me get to go a little bit back where it's supposed to be in the beginning, Man of Steel. I said, I had no real trust in this. I mean, big thing for Man of Steel, but it did turn out to be okay. And because he did exactly what I said. If I was directing this movie, this is what I would do. And I was talking about Superman. He's boring. And I did see something about James Gunn, even I mentioned that too, because he's overpowered. So he's going to make him a lot weaker, which is like whatever. And hopefully I remember this. The other thing I noticed, someone got mad because they saw Superman not act like Superman. That kind of stuff, like I said, I'm okay with. But I have not watched the clip yet. I kind of know what part of him bursting into the door and doing something, becoming angry or something. But I have not watched the clip because I don't like to spoil it right now. But anyways, I'm sorry. So I said, Superman is probably if I was a director, a big director, I would never want to touch a Superman movie because that is the hardest one to do because he's so powerful. I mean, I couldn't lose Lex Luthor because the kryptonite thing is overdone and Lex Luthor is overdone. There hasn't honestly not been a good Lex Luthor until Batman v Superman, because and when I say that, I know I'm talking social media, but for the Batman v Superman, Lex Luthor lines, you notice how people remember the lines. They remember things about him. I actually don't remember any Lex Luthor in any movie. And the thing is, I remember is from another Superman Returns, where the guy says, because the woman says sea monkeys. He says, yes, sea monkeys. Anything else, I don't remember. Lex Luthor has always been forgettable. I remember a lot of lines from Lex Luthor, and he's more understandable for Batman v Superman. But and I can there's relating with I have with that Lex Luthor now, over my situation of stuff. But what was I going to say? But anyways, what I was saying is for Man of Steel is I said the best thing Zack Snyder can do is I understand there won't be kryptonite in this movie because it's already put out there. I said do a whole bunch of throwing people through buildings, slamming concrete, all that, and that's what I came to see. It's kind of like walking to a Hulk movie. Who can Hulk fight? And it better be. And if you're going to have him fight someone, have him go through buildings, destroy things, give me like entertainment, because that whole kryptonite thing is dead. It just doesn't work. It's just old for me now. It's just been done almost like every single movie until probably I think Batman I'm two minutes still. So, and I said in my review, I says, people, the movie was okay. I thought the kiss that Lois and them had was forced, but I got exactly what I asked for. I wanted that, and that's what I got. So yeah. So, but I'm just trying to get to the point. This one, I actually have a clip on of Lex Luthor talking in Superman's ice house, and from the few seconds I've seen, I'm thinking he just seems forgettable. And I never noticed that his eyes come out almost like Daniel. Did I say Daniel Craig? Who's Daniel Craig? Oh yeah, I think that's right. Daniel Craig, the best Bond ever. Yeah. So, but I really feels like he's just like a. He just does. I'm looking at him like I wish I could show his face right now. He just his face. It's just I don't think it needs to be threatful looking, but it's just he has a baby face. Like you want to pinch his little cheeks or something. But I'm just saying that doesn't matter. That shouldn't matter. But I'm just saying that I am also watching this vampire movie he was in that I think Jeremy called Awesome Spectacular, and I knew it was a bad movie because the guy I think it's the guy who did The Lighthouse and some other dumb shit that I didn't finish on, and no one talks about, and his acting was pretty bad so far in that movie, and I'm actually fast forward to that vampire movie, and his face reaction go, every time, and I'm like, you have the wrong face. That's what actually I thought about now. Yes, I felt like he was like laying on the bed, and the vampire looked like he was about to give him head. That's the part I'm at right now, and he just like, or doing something. I was like, you just have the wrong face for that. It's just that, it's kind of like certain movies. I know who's going to be the villain because they have a villain looking face. He just has the wrong face. It's just like Justin Timberlake trying to look hard. It just doesn't work. But I'm just saying is the Superman trailer. It looks really bad. I'm seeing it. I want to make sure it's clear. I'm seeing it, of course, because I see any movie. It's very rare that I don't go see movies. I don't get into that boycott stuff, even though people when I do these videos, I'm getting that comments on there. I don't do that. I enjoy life, but I'm not expecting this movie to be viable, but. And I just really feel like DC is something that should never be comedy. Same as Carnage should have never been PG-13 for that Venom movie. DC, they need to be dark for playing like movies that Joker's in, all of that. It needs to be dark. All right, but peace, I gotta go. But I really don't believe that Superman movie is gonna be good. I plan for there's gonna be a lot of complaining, and it is like for the Batman, be like, yeah, movie's epic, and people's like, I didn't really like it. You're gonna get that. And when you have when someone says that line is not for everyone on social media, when they say that line, it means it's not good. You hear that line? Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, I forgot what made me want to do this video. There's people constantly doing videos because that John guy said he met someone that didn't like it, said it was a cheesy mess or something like that. And now people's like, see, here's proof right now. So that stuff's happening, and they're using that, only that, I guess. I don't click their videos, but they have it titled in the same way of John's video. So a lot of, I guess, people who are just upset about the movie, I guess, on social media, I don't see that in the real world, are using that. I kind of watched partially of the video, but John's an idiot. I'm the only person with common sense that won't call 28 years later amazing or something stupid. All right, peace.